guys, it's your girl Elle just living. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing something a little bit different. It's Halloween, people, and I'm going to be bringing you some horror stories from travelers all around the world. Yes, so this is scary. This is a story time, not my story time, but someone else's. So I did a little digging on the web to see what kind of stories are out there about people who travel like me, because there are some there's a lot of dangers when it comes to traveling that a lot of people do not know about. That's a video for another day. But today, in honor of Halloween, I wanted to share with you a couple of stories of travelers who found themselves in horrific situations and often deadly situations. Let's get into it. This first story is about a resident of Savannah, Georgia, USA. Her name was Sarah Kusak. Now, she was about 35, 36 years old. Some reports say 36, but I believe she was 35. In the news reports that I read, it said she was 35, so we're going to go with that. She was 35 years old, and she was engaged to be married. Now, this happened around February 2009. She and her fiance actually went down to Puerto Rico. They were planning to vacation there for a little while with some of their friends before going to another Caribbean island to have their marriage ceremony in March, guys. So February 2009, things took a turn for the worst. Now, not only was she going to celebrate her soon-to-be marriage to her fiance, but she was also pregnant. She was 5 months pregnant at the time. And although she was traveling, she was trying to keep up her, her health routine, her fitness routine. If you're someone who works out every day, even when you're pregnant, people like to keep the workout going. I think you can work out until like 7-8 months. And at the time, she was 5 months pregnant with her first child, and she was out for a jog, out for her morning jog, guys. And little did she know, someone was watching her. 36-year-old Eliezer Navito, I believe I pronounced that correctly. Eliezer is his first name, but 36-year-old, he didn't care that she was 5 months pregnant. He actually watched her and then snatched her up during her morning jog and shoved her into the trunk of his vehicle. This happened again in Puerto Rico. So he forced her into the trunk of his car, guys, and then drove her off into a place that she had no idea. Now, Sarah was smart. What Sarah did while she was in the trunk of the car was she called her fiance. Sarah called her fiance and told him that she knew she was about to die. So she said her goodbyes to her fiance, and he said his goodbyes to her. Can you imagine the agony and pain of having to hear your fiance call you and say, someone just snatched me up, I'm in the trunk of the car, and I know I'm about to die. And you can't do anything to protect your fiance or your unborn child. Okay, so Sarah even called the police during this time from her phone, and that's actually how they were able to find her. But they found her too late. An hour after she made the call, they were able to track her phone, which her murderer still had on him. When they found her murderer, he still had Sarah's blood stains all over his shirt. When they found Sarah, her throat had been slashed and her body was dumped. Now, Marquez, the murderer, he said that he didn't realize that she was 5 months pregnant. He did confess to the murder, but he didn't just murder her. He also raped her, slashed her neck, and dumped her body. So he was convicted of rape, first-degree murder, and kidnapping, and he was sentenced to 105 years in prison, which many would say is still not enough. So after this was done and it was reported, people were just like, how can this just be coincidence? Because the police could not find a motive for why he would choose her and murder her. So they did some digging into Marquez's history, and they found out that his mother was also a murderer. Yeah, this seems to be running in the family, because he slashed her neck and his mother slashed the neck of children. She slashed the necks of children. Yes, in 1992, his mother murdered two small children, siblings, aged 2 and 3 years old. Now check this out. His mother only served 7 years for her crimes, but she was originally sentenced to only 26 for the murder of those two children. Now, when it came to the court case, of course, the murderer, I don't know, I can't even say his name, but I can definitely say murderer, because that's what he was. Because he didn't just kill a woman. He didn't just kill Sarah. He murdered her unborn child as well. And she was, I believe she was about to have a baby boy. Her first child, 35 years old, about to get married. She and her fiance were spending time in Puerto Rico before they were going to travel to the British island to have their ceremony. Just living her best life, only to have it taken away by someone for no apparent reason. A father, as a matter of fact. He had 7 children, and he was married, and I believe he had multiple women, whatever. But he just took it upon himself to want to murder, take someone else's life, take an innocent's life. Is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So ladies and gentlemen, we have to be careful when we're out here traveling this world, thinking that we are safe. Nowhere is safe nowadays. So we have to be vigilant at all times and keep a weapon on you. Yes, I'm an advocate for protecting yourself. Protect yourself at all times. And if you can avoid going out running or walking by yourself in an unknown area, please do. I personally like to find a place, a hotel usually, that has a gym, or if it's an Airbnb or something like that, maybe they have their own home workout area, or I may bring out some things myself to do some home workouts. But you just got to keep it safe, especially when you're pregnant, because you're very vulnerable during that time. 5 months pregnant, you're an easier target than the average person. So we have to be more vigilant. There are just some horrible people out there who's just waiting to take advantage of someone who is unknown or unknowingly a victim. All right, guys, so that's the first story. Can you imagine that? You're just on the holidays. This is the happiest point of your life, just to have it taken away. You go from so much happiness to fear in moments. A moment to lifeless. But the good thing is she was smart enough to track with her phone, call people, let them know what was going on so that they can solve her case easily and quickly. Because there are so many stories out there that are just unknown, that are unsolved. At the very least, her murder was solved quickly, because being a tourist, oftentimes, and Puerto Rico is still America. It is. Even if I'm in Mississippi, if I travel to Washington, D.C., if I travel to Oregon from Mississippi, I'm still going to watch my back. It's America, but it's not my part. America is freaking huge. United States is huge, you know, and there are subcultures within the culture. So even if I'm traveling from Mississippi to Oregon, it's like I'm traveling out of the country, because it's a different environment. It's a different culture, and I still got to watch my back. I still have to watch my back. So we just have to be vigilant when we're traveling, especially when we're traveling and we're out and about along, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this story. If you want more story times like this, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll bring you more. I say enjoy, like, no, don't enjoy stories like this, but it's good to know these kind of stories. I don't know what to say. But anyways, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like more travel tales, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll bring them to you. As always, it's your girl, Elle, just living. Love you bunches. Bye-bye.